Hey, this is Leah McCullough, and I'm interviewing Kate M. out of Cincinnati, Ohio, or Mason, Ohio. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Well, good, good. So we're here to talk about your fibromyalgia recovery journey. And just to get things started, tell us a little bit about what your situation was like before you met me and where you were at on your journey.
All righty. Well, before I met you, I was taking doxepin and mirtazapine for my fibro. I had retired and was spending most of my days in bed. I didn't see any hope for recovery, and at that point, I truly felt like the best thing to do would be to die. And I was just so depressed. And I finally got tired of being sick and tired. And I ran across a book called The Miracle Morning and started to do that program, which gave me some affirmations in that program. And I started to believe that there had to be something better out there and that maybe I could manage. And that's when I ran across a bookmark that I had of yours. And I had picked it up, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years ago. And the book, and I thought, well, I'm just going to look on her website and see what this is all about. It talks about recovery from fibro. And everybody says, oh, that's not possible. But Leah said, yes, it is possible. And I thought, well, all right, let me find out what she's doing. And I called you and followed your website and followed your program. I got your supplements, and I'm just amazed at what I'm able to do now.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you before we get into that, if you hadn't found this and you were still doing the Miracle Morning book, you know, if you hadn't found these things, what do you think would have happened with you?
I think I'd still probably be spending most of my days in bed.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the energy to do anything. And even though I started to get a little bit of belief that maybe I could do something different and do something better, I had no guidelines, nobody to show me the way. And I think I would still be in bed.
Yeah. And did you find that, were you working with any medical professionals? Were they helping you at all?
The doctor that I had, bless his heart, he's the one who helped me get on the doxepin and mirtazapine, which helped over the over-the-counter stuff I was taking. He just felt like I should just stay on those medicines because at least they were giving me some semblance of being able to manage. But I wasn't really honest with him. I hadn't really shared with him how much time I was spending in bed. I mean, I would get up in time to get a shower right before my husband came home from work. That was all I did. There wasn't any life. I didn't want to live.
Now, is the medication that you're referring to, is that also known as Cymbalta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the doxepin is Cymbalta. And the Cymbalta, I had no hope of ever getting off that. Everybody that I'd talked to was like, oh, well, you can't come off that. It's awful. The side effects are terrible. You know, you'll be on that the rest of your life. And I really thought I would need the mirtazapine to sleep for the rest of my life. And because of your medication, or your supplements, I was able to get off of both of them. I couldn't believe it. And your guidance. Without your guidance, I couldn't have done all this.
Yeah. Well, thank you, by the way. And I'm just listening really intensely to what you're saying. So let's talk about, how long did it take to recover? What happened with that?
Okay. I contacted you back in December of 2017. And I had made the decision by listening to you to try your supplements and to try something, try anything. I was desperate. And I started your protocol December 28th, 2017. And coincidentally, because in your book, I had read your book. In your book, it was talking about diet and how important diet was. So I thought, well, while I'm doing this, intense detox, and I'm going through some discomfort, it wasn't great, but it wasn't any worse than what I was. So,
right.
It couldn't get much worse.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'll go ahead and seriously. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and start the Whole 30 program. And basically what that does is it takes the 7 known triggers for inflammation and you eliminate them from your diet for a month. And because I was doing your supplements and that program, which basically was following what you told me, to eliminate all that stuff out of my diet, I thought, well, okay, if Leah says it, I got to do it. And within about...
I wish we'd tell that to my little boy.
Well, I don't know that he'd listen to me, but I could try. Within about 2 weeks, the fog started to lift. I wasn't getting my energy back yet, but I started to think clearer, and I started to see how all of this was going to work together. And that plus my affirmations, which daily told me that I can do it, I am worth it. By the end of January, I was able to get up and start cooking some meals from scratch, because that's the other thing the Whole 30 has is no processed food. And you had said no processed food. And I thought, oh, God, I got to make everything from scratch. I don't think I can do that. But I made your bone broth. And I was listening to Abram Hicks the day I made it, and you had turned me on to her. And I just, it was wonderful. Every time I drank it, I just felt energy coming into my body.
Oh, wow.
And I started the liver supplements you told me about. And within, I would say, I'm looking, because it's just been since the beginning of this year, but I've been able to go from not able to cook, not able to function, couldn't think straight, to I'm now doing almost all my cooking. I eat out occasionally. I've followed your advice on detoxing, on cleaners, the healthy cleaners for the house. I've changed my shampoos and my bath products. I bought a filter for my shower like you recommended. I switched from deodorant that had aluminum to deodorant that doesn't have aluminum. I started exercising. I went from being able to walk for about a half hour twice a week to now I'm up to walking for an hour and a half twice a week. I do weight training 3 times a week.
Oh, yeah, I remember when you added in the weight training. I was like, oh, my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I have the energy now. Literally, you have given me my life back.
Aww.
And I can't repay you enough for that.
Well,
we have a fence put in.
You did that yourself, by the way.
But I didn't believe in me. You did.
Well, it was kind of easy to believe in you because I've done it before. But I had that pre-knowledge. I knew you could do it. Plus, your heart was in the right place, So I could tell that you were ready to go.
I was ready to try anything.
Yeah.
And your program made it so simple. I didn't have to overthink it. And I had to keep getting out of my own way so that I could recover.
Right.
But
right.
I have my life back now, and I don't know how to repay you for that. Just in early October, I stained our new fence. My husband had a fence put in July. Well, it needed to be stained. It's one of the Kentucky horse fences. So it's all wood, and I had to get out there with my little sprayer that I bought and stain the entire fence. And I did it. And I thought, oh, Lord, here we go. I'm going to be back in bed for 2 months, right? I mean, that would have been the minimum of what I would have felt before. I had 2 days of achiness. 2 days. And that was all the, squatting down and doing the lower part of the fence and doing the posts and everything. I did the whole fence. And 2 days. That was all I had was 2 days of achiness. And I don't have any effects of it. I'm
would
still
you
walking.
Say that for muscle achiness or fibromyalgia achiness? Because there is a difference.
No, that was sore muscle achiness. And
right.
My fear was that it would be fibro.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was just, my hips were talking to me a bit, and it's all those squats that it wasn't used to doing. My body went, no. So I had a Epsom salts bath, and for 2 days I took a leave, just what's on the label, not the intense amount that I used to take. Only what they recommend on the label, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, not 2, and within 2 days, all that achiness was gone.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? Where did the pain go? I was waiting for it the next morning. I can't be recovered. I can't possibly be recovered. This doesn't work. But it did.
So
you gave me that.
Well, you gave that to yourself. I just provided a platform. So let me ask you a couple specifics. So you said you're retired. Do you mind me asking? Because we work with people all different ages. Can I ask you how old you are?
Yes, I am now 66.
Okay. And
I turned 66 in August.
Not when you were diagnosed, because you're probably sicker longer than you were diagnosed. How long ago do you think that you became symptomatic with fibromyalgia?
The farthest back that I can trace it is when I made super duper major life changes, all within about 2 years of each other, and that started in 1990. I got married, I had a son, and I lost my mom.
Oh, wow.
And went into postpartum depression, all within 2 years. And that was where I really had totally spiraled out of control. When do I think I had fibro? Maybe back when I suffered incest as a child. I don't know. I don't know how far back it goes. I can remember as a teenager, I would have joints that would just ache all the time, and nobody had an explanation for them. Maybe that was fibro even way back then, which would mean I probably had it for about 45 years.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay. Well, all right. So, so I'm trying to pose this question here so it's relatable to everybody. So you were you were able to work and retire. Then when you retired, it was like, okay, I'm just going to stay in bed for a few years, which I actually know that I did that myself. And then you started to come up out of the fog a little bit with this book that inspired you. And then you got on my program. And now one of the things that happened on the program is you were able to get off Cymbalta very, quote unquote, quickly within about a 5-month time frame. Is that correct?
Yes. I was taking 30 milligrams. So I followed your advice and stepped down.
With the help of your doctor, with the okay of your doctor. I got to cover my assets on that one.
Yes. I talked to your doctor. I talked to my doctor. My doctor. Right. I talked to my doctor. I gave him your book. I told him what I was doing. And he looked at me and he said, I can't believe the change I see in you already. This was before I was ever weaning myself off the meds. He saw such a change in me. And he said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. He looked at the supplements, the Zeolites and the Firm Pro Plus or Plus Pro or whatever it is, the
probiotic.
cup of dirt.
Yeah. Nobody likes it, but everybody likes the results, right? So
hey, it's wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. I since have learned how important it is to get those greens into your body, to get your body to start to heal itself, which you knew and you told me, but did I believe you? Well, kind of, maybe. But I've learned that you're right. I needed to listen to you even more than I do.
Wow.
But, yeah, I showed him the supplements. He said, I don't see anything in here that could harm you. He said, so if it's working for you, keep doing it. And while you're at it, let's start weaning off your meds. And I was like, yes, because I had tried to get him to let me off my meds before I ever started your program. And he said, no, they're working for you. Stay on them.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be on meds for the rest of my life.
Right. So now you're on 0 prescriptions, correct?
Correct.
And you're weight training.
And I'm weight training.
Now,
the
last time I talked to you, your husband wasn't saying too much about changes. Has he noticed a change in you, a difference in you?
He has.
Okay.
That
was a long pause. I was like, what?
He's not as supportive as I would like him to be, because I haven't changed as fast as he would have liked it, but he has noticed. He fought me on me doing the fence because he was afraid that it would make me worse.
Right.
And I said, no, as long as I can do it, let me do it. Because there's going to come a time, as I'm getting older, that I'm just physically not going to be able to go up on the roof and clean out the gutters. I was up on the roof about a couple of weeks ago sweeping all the pine needles off my roof with my broom because they kept going in my gutters and clogging up my gutters. And I thought, oh, my God, the neighbors probably think I've lost my mind. I'm up sweeping the roof. But
that's amazing.
That's how good I feel. And it's all because of you giving me my life back.
I didn't give you your life back. You took your life back. That's we call the program "Take Your Life Back," take your health back.
And I did with your guidance. I did.
Yeah. So
I have it back.
What does the future hold for you? Because you're finished with the program, you're going to be living your life on your merry way. What does the future hold for you?
I don't know. The sky's the limit. I just feel like at this point, I have my health back. So there's so much more that I can do. So now I need to find a purpose, a place to put my energies, besides cleaning up my house, which is, I'm still wading through that. That's 25 years of not doing anything.
Right. Well, a lot of, you're really smart to do that, get your house straightened up, because a lot of people, that's a big issue is clutter and deferred maintenance and stuff on where they live because they just can't. They're just in survival mode, So
exactly.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. So wow, if you're getting your house straightened up and tidied and maintained and everything, that's a big deal in and of itself.
Yes, and that's something I think when I do complete the house, that's when my husband will look at me and be totally amazed.
Well, a lot of times when I talk to people, and they're investigating working with me or not, a lot of times they'll say something like, I just want to get back into life, like go with friends and do things with my spouse and travel, things like that.
Yeah.
You got any plans that way?
I went this summer, we went to Cancun, and I
wow.
walked the beaches of Cancun and absolutely loved every minute of it. The only thing that held me back was my husband because he doesn't have as much health as I do. He's not willing to take any of the steps that I have taken. He's 69, and he wants to retire in his rocker.
Oh.
And I'm 66, and I want to get out and do stuff.
Yeah.
And I would have walked more, except I knew that he was sitting there on the beach looking for me. When I got out of sight from him, he started to worry.
Yeah.
And he worries so much. So he held me back some, more than I would have liked to. But we did that. We went up to New Jersey and to Point Pleasant Beach for a week. in September and took our son with us. And my son's 26 now. And my son and I walked all over that town. My husband sat in the chair back at the hotel room, but my son and I were out walking. So it was wonderful to just be able to walk and talk with him and reconnect, because he's moved out, and so much of my life when he lived here he was my support.
Right.
So it was just great to touch base with him. He's amazed at all the things I've been able to do.
So
he sees it more than my husband.
Yeah, so your husband finally has seen it. Your doctor saw it straight away. Your son's seen it.
Yes.
And any other reactions?
My friend that I've been trying to get to do your program, she has seen it, and she's spiraling down and down, and I still can't reach her and pull her back up. But she's got to figure out on her own that she's got to take control of her life. Nobody's going to do it for her. The doctors can't give you a magic pill to fix you.
No.
It comes through your dedication and your work. And I've found a way. You had showed me the way, and I took it, and I ran with it. And I'm proof that it works.
Yes. So do you have any advice or helpful guidance if somebody was thinking about getting involved in this program, like anything that you would say for them?
Try it. Just do it. That's been my slogan. I borrowed that from Nike. Just do it. Try it. You know, what have you got to lose? Your misery.
Yeah.
That's all you got to lose. You know, the time that it takes is worth it. I am worth it. And if I can do this, anybody can do this.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Kate, I'm going to miss you on the calls. You know, you're definitely a beacon of hope and light to everybody, and you're really interactive with everybody. And you started with the Jumpstart program, and then you transitioned over to the 12-month program, and you were actually we were together for about 10 months altogether, 9-10 months altogether, and you've completely recovered, would you say? I mean, I'm not going to try and put words in your mouth, but I think you're off all the medication. You're doing things like going to Cancun and getting up on your
My friend's still trying to get me back into half marathons. I haven't made that leap yet. But I am walking with her probably anywhere between 3 and 5 miles twice a week. So I'm up to I've definitely got the 5K level. I'm almost at a 10K level. So I may actually be able to get back into doing a half marathon. And I didn't believe that was possible. I have my life back. I'm so busy I don't have time to work around the house. I have to go do things. I have to socialize.
And isn't that awesome? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that like exactly the opposite of what it used to be?
Oh, definitely. I can't tell you the number of hours I've sat on this couch that I'm sitting on right now. But I sat on it without hope. Now I have hope.
Well, you're beyond hope. You're living it. You're living it.
I am. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey.
Oh, I loved it. I can't believe the difference it's made in my life. I can't believe it. I can't get over it. I would never have believed this was possible, but you believed it, and I believed you.
Yeah. One of the other ladies in our group, she said, "I can't believe I'm this far along at this point. Like how quickly things worked out." Too.
I think you're talking about my buddy that didn't believe that she could get any of it done. And I was so excited when I saw the message that she had made her quantum leap. It was like, yay!
Yes. I think she'd made it months beforehand, but she wasn't convinced.
No.
Yeah. No. And but that's okay. You know, she's got to have her own conviction about that kind of thing. You know, and everybody takes their own time to do that, which is fine. but yeah, and she's on her way, big time. So, but she was just like, I would never have guessed I'd be this far along in this short amount of time. So, yeah.
Yeah. I knew she could do it. I heard that positivity in her voice. When you frame your thoughts from I can't do it, I'm not worth it, I don't deserve it, and you change that around to I am worth it, I can do it, I might not be perfect, but I can be amazing. Thank you, Leah.
Oh, yeah.
That was your part of in my affirmation. When you turn your thoughts around that way, you can do it.
Well, I think you open yourself up to some possibilities that you might not have been open up to when you were in the can't mode,
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And
All
now I
right.
can.
Awesome. Well, this has been about a half an hour recording, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And any final parting words you want to say before we stop the recording?
Just stay with the program. It works. You have to work it, but it works.
Right. Yeah. Well, hey, Kate, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to talk to people and encourage them and actually really tell some nitty-gritty details of your story. That it takes a lot of courage to do that, and I really appreciate you being here and doing that.
Well, thank you, Leah. I couldn't have done it without you.
Well, and I couldn't have helped you without you being here. So it's a mutual thing. So thank you and bye-bye. So don't hang up, but I'm going to be stopping the recording. Okay. So everybody else, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.